Okay, I think I got audio now. Very rarely use the camera on this thing. Hello, Jim Wilson. Philip Nightonger here. I'm bored. It's Philip Nightonger, KA4K. I'm running direct stream. I'm waiting to see if my brother shows up on brother, do you hear me? This is KA4KOE. Brother Eric, can you hear me? This is KA4KOE on 3880 AM. Lou, we're on 3880.
Calling KA4KOE in Richmond Hill, Georgia, 155 miles south of Byron, Georgia.
Okay, brother, I hear you on there. You're also running a dual live stream on Facebook here. So you're over the internet as well. Lou, I'm on 3885. And I got some people commenting. But anyway, Eric, you sound nice and loud here from Richmond Hill, Georgia. And you are Lima Charlie down here tonight. We have the lightning maps up here. And there's actually some lightning strikes in the tail end of the tropical system now. We have a lightning frequency of 74 strikes per minute in the southeast. Ray, get on the air if you can. I'm on 3880 right now with my brother. So we're actually running simultaneous streams here. But how are you doing, brother? KA4KOE. All right, I take it you're not ready. Would probably help if I turn things on. So we got to wait for the transmitter to warm. I had the transmitter turned off. I heard the relays clicking, but okay, brother, I have the transmitter up. I had to warm it up. Over. Well, it was fine up until a second ago, but I said I had to wait for the transmitter to heat up. But I've got a live stream going, so you are live, as am I. So, hey Rob, I'm on 3880 with Eric, and just got the refrigerator of death warmed up. So anyway, we don't have too many lightning strikes this evening. We got a lot on the tail of that tropical system, but in southeast Conus we have about 78 strikes per minute on the display here, on the multi-display, which, hey, Rose, I'm on ham radio here talking to my brother in Warner Robins. Well, it seems like they got a little war going on down on 73. Apparently, somebody fired up right in the middle of the AM window on sideband, and it sounds like hostilities have commenced. Yeah, anyway, so are you hearing me well, brother?
Here to see, to kind of close out the excess noise. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, it's, I mean, right about the time that you got on, it was clear, and then shots were fired literally over the air. And, we've got this group of malcontent sidebanders who love to fire up in the middle of the AM window and be darned anybody else. But that's why we have my little friend downstairs. Rose, the Mad Scientist Lab is upstairs. Yes, it's soundproof. Okay, has your equipment exploded? Because I get these long gaps in your transmission.
I'm just looking at my passband here, and there's a like 30, something like that. I don't know if he's talking to us or what.
Well, I don't really care if he is or not. He shouldn't be in the AM window. But anyway, we were here first. You were here before the sidebanders fired up, so that's just too bad. So they shouldn't be up here anyway. But anyway, watching the tropical storm spin up, it looks like it's heading towards the center of circulation, maybe up around Columbia, South Carolina. It's kind of hard to tell. But anyway, I'm glad you're hearing me well. I'm running this time 240 watts of carrier on slightly below 3880, and so that's the situation. Got the compression cranked up, so we're in war mode basically. Yeah, okay. Well, I figure right now we just make noise. But we've got 5 people watching this live stream right now. I guess they got nothing better to do than watch an old guy play on the radio with my brother in really poor band conditions. It would actually be pretty decent if we didn't have intruders inside the AM window. Over.
Something like this.
Yeah. Well, anyway, would you like to hear the accurate weather summary from this location? Okay, here is the accurate weather summary from weather station KGARICHM 19. And I'm glancing over at the display on the left-hand side, Brother Eric. This is KA4KOE with the meteorological summary Currently, we have 79 degrees outside with 79% humidity. Rainfall for this month so far is 1.69 inches in the gauge. Total rainfall since the first week of June is 17.29 inches, also in the same aforementioned gauge. Barometric pressure is actually quite low. I guess because we've got a tropical system nearby. The 29.59 inches of mercury. We had a wind gust of 14. Winds are currently out of the west at 4 miles an hour, and the temperature upstairs here in the Mad Scientist lab is 69 degrees at 57% relative humidity. That concludes the K4KOE weather summary, brought to you by the Bauer Transmitter Company, former maker of fine broadcast equipment.
Bauer. Now, give me a signal on my meter signal going out.
Your signal right now is S9 on the Collins 75A4. Yeah, it's a 75A4 Collins, which we're listening on. We've got it cranked down to the nearest bandwidth setting because of the extreme noise on the band tonight. The REA Associates modulation monitor is showing me at let's just add a little more modulation to the mix and get it up over 100%. And so that's the situation here. We got the kiddies fighting down on 75 or 78, somewhere in there. 38, 70, somewhere in there. The Collins 75A4 does not have a pan adapter display. So I can hear the noise, but I don't see it. But that's the allure of antique equipment. Okay, last heard you were S5, readability about 4, strength 9. You were S9. You're not really up to snuff yet. I suspect as we get later into the evening that may improve. I'm conducting conversations simultaneously. I got people watching the live stream firing questions at me, and I've managed to hold 5 people's attention, why I don't know. So anyway, they're not hearing you very well because of the interference. It's actually your difficult copy here because of the adverse band conditions. QRM primarily, over. Say again your last. The third time, you're S9. Oh, I don't know. We're doing the best we can under adverse band conditions. And that's just the way it is. Now we got 6 people watching this nonsense. Again, why? I don't know. So anyway, but I'm not even sure if it. We have a message coming in here from the High Command. Whenever you're ready to copy it. I said, are you ready for the message from the High Command? Yes, I hear you. Okay, message as follows. Black grapes are tastier than watermelons. Repeat. Black grapes are tastier than watermelons. Did you copy? Roger, Roger. Copy on that. Do you have a message for me for the reciprocal high command? Over. Yeah, they're really going up. Yes, Rick, I am on the 707, and we're running 240 watts of carrier, and since we've got since we have Rose, it's not using the military. They have their own frequencies. So, like I said, I'm being fired questions here. But, yeah, we can actually roll over here and check the wattage. You can see the futon behind me. It's not been made recently. Stand by. May have to go out there and check things. It's actually about 225 watts of carrier, but 10 or 15 watts at this power level is not going to make a lot of difference. So anyway, I guess we're just going to have to soldier on here, brother. KA4KOE with KK4 TVR.
Good question. People listening in and tell me do I know any of them?
Well, I don't know, Eric, because I can't listen to both frequencies simultaneously, and it's hard enough manipulating the controls on the bow. It looks like they got a tornado warning possibly up, just started flashing up in the southeastern corner of North Carolina. I'm watching the display here. Or maybe that's an old warning. Let me put it on pause. No, that's expired. Anyway, I just saw the purple little flashing icon up on the GR Level 3 screen. So anyway, no, I don't have that capability to look. If I tune off you to see what's going on down there, I won't be able to hear what you're saying. So I'm trying to give you all my attention. That should make you feel good. I know you've got a weak ear. Talking to you, I try to devote most of my attention to you because I know your psyche is fragile. Over.
Yeah, let's try to keep our transmissions under 2 minutes the next time. Yeah, sure. But my question is completely, how are you getting this program that they can hear? You have to have a camera on you and go into the web. How are you doing the transmission tonight?
Okay, how am I doing the transmission tonight? It's called technology, dear boy, technology. I have a webcam connected to the computerator, which is feeding into Facebook Live. I'm taking the mic stream from the RE320 Electro Voice and the audio rack, which is feeding the Flex 6300. And using the DAX audio program, I can pick the audio feed off the DAX and run that through the Facebook Live audio interface. That is then run through an A to D converter, where it is then squirted onto the internet via a very fast hardwired line to the internet backbone node nearest to us. Is that clear enough for you?
What they hear in the room may be a microphone.
Oh, I don't know. Chris, anybody, can y'all hear Eric very well?
That's what you're talking right now. It's just for TVR virus.
You can talk. When I'm not talking, that's generally how this works. I talk a little bit, then I unkey. Occasionally I'll say, over, and then it's your turn. That's how it works.
Sometimes you're talking to those people, and you're not talking to me, and I don't know quite when you're actually talking to me.
Well, do you want there to be without any doubt whatsoever that I'm talking to you?
With Roger or Enda?
No, Enda.
Roger that. What report from Byron at 79 degrees outside with 76% humidity. Wind is out of the west at 3. 66.
Probably a little bit, Mark. I'm running it over processed because we're dealing with a lot of QR Mary. Yes, highly over processed. Yeah, that's intentional.
is at 29.71, steady. Index is 82, dew point 71. And today we had a high of 95 and a low of 75. What was your high today?
I don't have the historical meteorological data in front of me at the current time, so I can't really answer that question immediately. But if you stand by, I can bring up the internet. That's an interesting little thing there, Harry, the internet. And I can tell you what it is if you're just wait a couple of seconds here.
Roger that. Yeah, Roger. I think I forget what it was. Received Roger, but was one and the same. The phonetics for received, message received.
Okay, I will give you the maximums for today. The high temperature was 88.3 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, the dew point at that time, the dew point was 75.6 degrees Fahrenheit with a relative humidity of 83%. The low today was 78.1 degrees Fahrenheit with a dew point of 70.5 degrees Fahrenheit at 64% humidity. And the forecast for tonight was dark. And that has come to pass. And
Roger that, the message for tonight. You ready for the message for tonight?
okay, we are ready to receive your message for tonight. And
Roger that. Ice cream, new stream, we all stream.
all right.
Ice cream, new stream, we all stream.
I think, okay, receive your message number 1 for this evening.
Roger that, still finding.
Yes, he is. He's on the 7300. Please repeat your last. And
How are they liking what they're watching?
how do you like the show? He's asking. Or is it boring?
How are they liking what we are doing?
I guess they're liking it. I'm getting a lot of little upraised thumb signals here, so I guess they're liking it. And I've been asked whether we write these things down. And I say, no, it's all ad lib, every bit of it. We're just clever people, or at least we think of ourselves as such. So do you think we're clever people, dear brother? Enda?
Well, it's all relative, man. It's what you are used to being exposed to, and I guess being exposed to this could be different for some people. They might or something annoying. It could probably run the entire spectrum.
Roger that. Well, you know, we like to entertain ourselves. This is primarily how we visit with each other. And we try to keep it clean, dear brother. I know that. We get a little stupid at times, but that's okay. Our goal here is to drag the IQ average down in the AM window. And I think to that point, we have been most effective. Would you agree?
Roger that. I would agree. Yeah, I'll just have a little smell going up here. I don't know what that smell was. Just be careful how you entertain yourself. And you're still locked in for at least one more day. Am I correct on that?
Yes, you are correct, Mutton Breath. We are indeed up here at least for one more day before I no longer endanger children and pets with mutations. The weird thing is most of the radiation's coming out of my mouth now, and I presume that's from beta Actually, it is beta. I've checked it with the pancake on the Geiger counter. The decontamination probe, the Ludlum 44-9, made by the Ludlum's Instrument Company, makers of fine radiation detection instruments, all made in the USA. So anyway, yeah, it's the emission rate has dropped quite a bit. I mean, it's actually in the last 24 hours we have come down quite a bit. And next regular meal will be after Wednesday.
And I want you just to be aware that there's this word carrying out there a lot. It's not really a word, it's just like a sound, a pause with a sound to it. You put a lot of in there. Like, remember Ron, who was the weather guy that would fill in from time to time on TFC? Ron somebody.
His name was Ron Wallace. And
is he still around?
Ron fills in occasionally. I've met Ron in person. He's a nice guy. And
weatherman is what I'm figuring on that.
Well, let me put it to you like this. Me modifying my speech patterns to suit you is as fruitless as me asking you to up your IQ level by 20 points so we can have an intelligent conversation. It don't work.
Wow. You got me on that one.
Well, at least we get you out of the drool zone you're in right now, and you could save on your laundry expenses.
Okay. See, I'm doing it too, and I have to be more aware of it because I'm sad about it myself.
I wish I could. It'd be fun, Chris.
It's just too many ums and we think about not using that word or, there you go.
Well, that's the way it is. And I think you're trying to drag this conversation into the weeds again. I'll have to fire you in it. I'll have to fire some Roundup on you in a literal sense. There we go. So anyway, the amount of lightning strikes in the tail end of the tropical system has it's like a long chain going from the outer banks of North Carolina down to Titusville, almost a straight line of lightning strikes in the ocean, which is unusual, or maybe it's not. I'm not a meteorologist. It's unusual because it's a tropical system. They don't have the same type of wind movement, so that's why, but it's unusual. And the other lightning mass is in the foot of Louisiana, if you know what I mean, going through to middle of Texas. That's where most of the lightning is. However, that being said, we have a strike total per minute of 87 per minute. There's a big long one for you. Yes, you can talk. Enda.
I just made myself laugh. That's pretty good, man. Yeah, I am cleaning my truck. I haven't done some inviting tonight, and so I am sitting here with a cup of coffee, decaffeinated. My vaping pipe apparatus. I am vaping also, and I am
probably a steak. Actually, a combo surf and turf plate's what I'm going to get. I'm going to get the Admiral Yamamoto platter at the nearest seafood restaurant, not the captain's platter, but the Admiral Yamamoto platter. I'm wanting some seafood, actually. Okay, all right. I think we need to move on to phase 2 of our conversation. This is KA4K. Are you ready, brother?
We are ready here in Byron, Georgia, population 4,200, and by for the next.
Okay, this is KA4KOE with my brother KK4TVR, separated by approximately 155 miles of terrain as the crow flies down here, as we say in the South. But it's that time again. Another action-packed, spine-tingling, exciting episode of... And we see Biff Skyhook again traveling fruitlessly in a large rotary engine monoplane high over enemy territory, and he's looking down at little things that appear to be ants, but he knows they can't be ants because they're so far away. Then he realizes they actually are ants, and they're all over his windshield and inside the cockpit. Apparently, Biff had left his lunch overnight in the open frame of the aircraft, when Biff is heard to say, say again your last. Okay, you're going to have to delay transmitting for about a second and a half on my relays kick back. So I'm losing your first couple of syllables.
Okay, so what did you miss on the last go-round?
I missed about half of that. You're engaging in premature elocution, which means you're speaking too soon. Yes, we need your punchline one more time, if you don't mind. Yes, premature elocution, or however I said it. Did y'all like that?
You flashing a little sign that says applause across the top of the screen.
I don't think they're understanding most of what you're saying, and I have an issue pulling you out because of the sideband splatter and this interference. I'm getting some thumbs up here, so I guess they like it. I guess they think we're funny. Boy, do we have them fooled. Okay, that was Doc Holliday from Tombstone. Okay, you're still doing the premature elocution and you're speaking too quick.
What does 3006 indicate?
3006? What does 3006 indicate? Over. Okay, you mean 30-06. That is the caliber of the projectile, I think, used in the Springfield and the M1 Garand. And if I'm not mistaken, 06 refers to the year it was first used or invented. Am I correct?
That is correct, sir. That is correct. When you talk about a bullet that is 230 grains, what does that mean?
Well, usually a 30-grain bullet means you can get some Uncle Ben's rice. And you can actually get 30 grains of Uncle Ben's rice in the brass casing for the bullet. But if you're referring to the projectile, that is the actual weight of the bullet. Now, in grains, don't ask me to define what a grain is. The first part of that was a smart alecky comment about the actual grains of rice in the brass casing. I hope you didn't take that seriously. Enda.
No, I did
Well, and the question, what 50 caliber refer to, that means the bullet specifically coming out the end with the hole in it, the barrel. When it exits the barrel, the outside diameter of the bullet is approximately 0.5 inches. Say again your last, please.
I said, so 50 caliber is 1/2 inch wide.
That is correct. Now, if you're talking about a naval, a piece of naval artillery, say on the battleship Iowa, they'll give you a 16-inch gun that is maybe 40 calibers long. So whatever the length is. So if you talk about the main armament on a Iowa class battle wagon, so let's say it's got a 16-inch gun that's 50 calibers long. So the barrel length is, I don't know if they measure that from the breech or anywhere. Anyway, if it's 50 calibers long, so the barrel length would be 50 times 16 inches.
I did not know that. When I say something like 9 by 19, what am I referring to?
The size of your brain.
Also, 9 by 19, what does that indicate to you?
9mm bullet with a 19mm long piece of brass behind it. That is what I assume that would mean. Now, I have a question for you. I don't know why you're quizzing me on armaments and firearms. Are you ready for your question?
I'm ready for my question. Was this KK4?
Okay, this is KA4KO, the amateur radio station located in Richmond Hill, Georgia, coming to you via the Bauer Transmitter Company, maker of fine broadcast equipment. Your question, and this is a difficult question for you, is, Eric, do you have a personality?
Can you repeat the question?
Repeating my query to you, Brother Eric, do you possess a functioning personality? Enda.
I'm sorry, did you say query?
Yes, that's another word indicating inquiry, question. Answer the question, brother. Do you possess a functioning personality?
Say I have a score of 1 to 10. Does my personality affect how happy you feel?
Okay, I'm sensing a vision here on your part. Answer the question placed to you. You put about 3 to me in a row. And it's a very simple question requiring only a yes or no from you. Now, if you're not capable of saying that, please let me know. Brother Eric, do you have a functioning personality?
I believe I've already answered that question, but I will attempt to appease you by further clarifying what I was going to say, which is asking your audience who is there, does listening to me cause their happiness level to go up or down?
Eric is asking if his personality is making your happiness level go up or down. Okay, I have placed this question to our live audience, which is now dwindled down to 4. We were up to a record-shattering 6. So anyway, I've yet to receive a response. So, although my friend Chris is telling me a 45-70 lever action is where it is at. And I gave Sherry her anniversary present a little early. I got her a Shockwave 590 pump action 20 gauge shotgun, and she liked it. Oh yeah, I know she wanted it because when I was recovering from my surgery, we went by Caton's and she expressed admiration for it. And later on, I picked it up for her and asked her if she wanted her anniversary gift early. She said yes. And I presented her with the Mossberg Shockwave 590 20 gauge pump action shotgun. Well, of course, yes. And I got it from our buddy Caton, and we got the Extraordinary Friends discount. And I won't discuss that on the, but he gave us a very good discount. And he's a man of his word. He tells you what he's going to charge you for something, that's what he's going to charge you for something. So anyway, I'm waiting to see what I get, although I'll be getting the royal treatment. I'm having my supper brought up here daily. We got hamburger steak tonight with fresh sliced tomatoes and fresh sliced scalloped potatoes. And we had that for, I guess, about a 2 o'clock late lunch. So anyway, that's what we had today. I'm not sure if I'm going to attempt to go to church tomorrow. We're down to 3, Eric. We got to step up the pace here, man. So anyway, I'm not sure if I'm going to make church tomorrow. I'm still just going to have to see what my radiation level is in the morning. But that's the summary. But like I said, in the last 24 hours, radiation level has dropped precipitously. So that's the summary of the radiation today. I sent you a video earlier of the guy from the store making fun of that guy on the Weather Channel who got busted faking the weather conditions. This is KA4KOE. Over to you.
I thought that was hilarious, very funny. The grocery basket goes in both directions. And did you notice the guy standing behind him flapping his jacket for him?
Oh yeah, I did see that. And they threw the same traffic cone at him twice. That was excellent. And
I think he was an older guy. Never could see his face very well. I think that's going to get viral. Oh, I forget which weather guy was on the Weather Channel.
I think his name was Seidel. It's already gone viral, Eric. It's got views in the tens of millions now. He got busted on that one bad. And he does. Dan Scott, I'm talking to my brother on 3880 kilohertz AM 3880. So anyway, we're back up to 5. So I guess we have stepped up the pace enough to keep our dual stream here going well. And for those of you in broadcast, yes. Well, actually, we might want to turn down the compression ratio a bit. Let's do that. Oh, turn the compression ratio down a bit, and maybe, okay, get it not being so hot. Let me do this. All right, so conditions have moderated somewhat, so we've moved the Bauer 707 transmitter out of war mode. And this may or may not have improved the audio quality. The broadcast types on here had the audacity to tell me that my audio was less than perfect. Well, he was correct. We had the transmitter set up in war mode. Over.
You said unless you have it set up in war mode, but you're running 250 watts right now, which, I mean, heck, man, I don't think it ought to be easy. In your power bill since you've got this thing up and running and you're using it more and more?
not particularly, dear brother. It actually uses less power than your clothes dryer. I'm not even running it at full power. I'm running it at the lowest setting at 250 watts level. So it's drawing less energy right now than your typical clothes iron. This is KA4KOE over. But I tell you what, playing with an 800-pound refrigerator of death broadcast transmitter is a lot more fun than ironing your clothes. And there are 4 tubes in the upper compartment of a Bauer 707. From left to right, you have a pair of 4-400As running push-pull in class AB1, followed by another pair of 4-400As running in class C. The 4-400A final tubes running in class C are combination plate and screen modulated by the pair of 4-400As running in class AB1. The plate voltage is approximately 1500 volts at a plate input current of around 240 mils roughly. I don't remember exactly what it is because the meters on this thing are old. I've calibrated them as best I can. So I'm using the bird up here to tell me what the... no, I don't. You can't really find those anymore, Chris. They're just not a full 1000. You can't get those anymore. So anyway, or at least it's hard. I'm answering questions here. Now, your typical residential clothes dryer runs at 240 volts residential. And I'm trying to remember what, usually it's about 5 kW. Which that will take a 30 amp 240 volt NEMA L14-30P plug. I believe that's the correct NEMA configuration. I don't remember exactly. So, but the thing you got to remember is the broadcast transmitter, if one were running it at full power, which I am most assuredly not, the 4 kilowatt peak envelope power capability of that box is there only on voice peak. So that's not what we call continuous duty cycle. It doesn't work like that. Most of the time it's sitting there just squirting out carrier at 1000 watts. And you assume about 70% efficiency on that, which is probably about right. I would say you're actually putting about 1300 watts into the box and getting 1000 watts out of that. That works. And I know you probably missed most of that after I said, now listen carefully. KA4KOE, Enda.
Yeah, 70% efficiency. 1300 watts in, 1000 watts out. But at very, very high voltages, you said you had a couple of 400s. They all work for
Well, yeah, they're all the same. They're just being run in different classes of operation. The modulators or modulators, depending on how you process your audio. They're running in class AB1 push-pull. You know, one of the amplifies audio on the positive going cycle. The other tube amplifies audio on the negative going side of the cycle. That's why you got to have the little audio going into them balanced out, or you don't have any type of distortion. And those two tubes operating in them modulate the pair of 4-400As in Class C via a combination of screen and plate modulation. But you know, the full awesome power of the power is momentary on voice peaks, and it's not quite instantaneous. So that 4,000 watts peak is only for your audio peaks. Now, the current power level I'm running is about 250 watts, so 100% modulated signal. The voice peaks are just hitting 1,000 watts. That's about the power of a typical microwave oven, roughly. So back to you, brother. KA4KOE.
KK4 Kilo, Byron, Georgia, random pecans, peanuts, and something else I can't remember. Anyway, right, mowing country and farmland, a lot of that around here. But we need rain, so we're starting to wilt a little bit. So the cotton needs a little bit of rain on there, so we're hoping to get some rain coming in.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to give you a compliment here, believe it or not. Yes, listen carefully. You're getting a compliment. When you moved to Byron, Georgia, I would venture that when you moved into this place, being as where you live and what you told me about the people you've encountered, your moving into that area raised the average IQ of the county 10%. Would you agree with that, dear brother?
Well, I actually missed the insult part because you went into the tubes for it. You went into the ditch for a minute. Would you repeat that, please?
Yes, I will, and it was not an insult. It was actually a backhanded compliment to you. Okay, we'll try it again. When you and Suzanne moved from Savannah to Byron, Georgia, I believe that you, even with your numerous mental encumbrances, when you moved into that area, you raised the average IQ of the county 10%. And I base this on what you told me at one time about some of the messed up people you said you saw up there. Anyway, that was a backwards compliment, and I hope you take it as such. KA4KOE.
I missed the very last part of that because it you know, we got noise drowning out, so I'll let you repeat that. But, I mean, I don't, to be honest with you, I feel like I'm a city boy among 2-3 people, but I'm fitting in pretty well, pretty nicely. I don't hold anything back. What I was is what I did, and I get along with everybody, though, man. If I can get somebody laughing, there you go.
Yes, and I said, I summarized by saying that was a backwards compliment to you.
Back on my past band a little bit. Yeah, I mean, because I'll be honest with you, a lot of people around in this area are working people, maybe working with the whole thing, and they're working hard, and you got a lot of people pick the cars up, man, and they drive these, you know, they got hot rods and stuff, and they cars or whatever. So it's that type of it's a NASCAR area. Let's just say that type of folks that they're using cars, and everybody I talk to is real funny. When's the last time you went to a McDonald's and if you go to drive away, they have the young person that has